Well, had to change my approach to the TV uh rated G version. We'll tell you a story about my aunt, and the stream is based on her. You know, she was based on. No, not this, not this, not this. That's my great grandmother, Helen Lewis Nelson, who had passed away in like August of '95. We're going to the we're going to the stories. We're going straight to the stories. And we're heading on to the stories. No, that's my grandmother again. My later died in '96. No, that's my step uncle's daughter. Well, she's grown now, so my cousin Charles Stevenson. No, it's just photos of Matthews and Jamar and Avis at the outside the garage. There's Matthews and Avis. I wonder why these two haven't even talked since ever since ever since he left like 23 years ago. Ever since Matthew left 23 years ago. This was my grandmother. I'm not. In other words, I'm not chopping on my grand. I ain't didn't the story based on my grandmother now. We're looking at the stories that's all based on my auntie. So I'm, I'm not focusing on the story based on my grandmother. This story is based on my aunt, the late Cheryl Martin Claude. It's based on her. The story. She was born July 19th, 1961. You know what I mean? Back in those days, she was a student at Early Bowen High School, let's say, and people knew the stories about her. All her legacy was all been told. All her legacy and her and all her history could have been completely told. All can be completely told in this story here. See, there's lots of photos that have been taken years ago. This is this my aunt with my grandmother before my grandmother passed away. There's photos of her in earlier times. It was in the '80s. This one, this is around the same year. Uh, that's around the 1982. That was like 4 years ago. I think there was this wild time when it's after my dad took my mother and me home from the hospital. Um, that's on top of it. So we going through the old photos, classic stuff you already seen like history. This is on top of my all four of us hanging out. My grandmother, Esther Shaw, my aunt Chanel, Saul Hayes, and my cousin Matthew Sean and me. See, we're going through it all, but this old photos they have of us, they're like brainstorming who's gonna carry me the most. So my my cousin was so scared to carry to hold me, so he had to hold me. This is when Matthews got shy, or he was afraid to hold me. My grandmother told him to hold me, so he had to hold me. Gave in. See, these old photos from back in the '90s, whatever. Um, this is This is my aunt with my grandmother, and this is show with my grandmother Esther and my uncle Fabian. So I think it was at I think it was at his birthday party, uh, back in those days, whatever the '90s, whatever. So old photos you've seen, they got old photos that's already been taken of my grandfather James Currens and my grandmother Esther. So this was all taken at the party in the '90s. And my aunt was already in it. Well, all the things you've seen of my grandmother and a few people, cousin George West, who later died. You know, people that know all people who feel people that's no longer here. We're going straight to the top of things. This picture was this picture. This is a picture my aunt was taken in. I think this is after Jamal was born. It's after my uncle Avis Martin Jr. took her and her and Jamal home from the hospital. That's taken from July of '84. So we got the old stuff here. This my aunt with one of the relatives. This was taken the same year she took this one. It's not the same as she took this one. This is after she took this picture. This picture was all taken back in what, '89. This picture was already been taken in like '89 with my aunt Chanel Shaw Hayes and my father James Coleman Shaw Jr. who was no longer with us. Cousin Breon Shaw, who was born in October 30th of '89, 1989. You see the old history you have seen of her. That's where she grew up. She could have grew up and learned to walk. Jamal Martin, he was in the picture. I was living in a two-bedroom house with my mother. You know what I mean? Throughout '88 and '89 maybe. So I was '87, '88, '89. We was moving that one-bedroom house like '86, '87, I think. So all the stories that's all came. I already I already took a photo of this like 3 years ago. We're going into the classical stuff. So we're getting into the old stuff. So you seen this that picture was taken at a party. That's it's my grandfather James Currens Shaw Senior, and this his big brother who had passed away, Frank Shaw. He he's married to Lorna, my auntie. They had a daughter named Judith. Uh, they well before they had Judith, they had a son named Owen. Owen is around the age range Owen is around the age range as my uncle Fabian. You know what I mean? We got all the old stuff. We can pick them up. If I want to choose, I pick them. I don't want to keep cherry picking all the pictures and nothing. We'll put this back. Put this back. We put like, these pictures. Like my Chanel wanted them a year ago. One back like my Chanel wanted them. Let's put them back. See, old photos they have. That was in my late grandmother's party in '92. So everybody was having fun. This is around the time before you had to go outside with my uncle Frank. You know what I mean? He's already in the house. He's already in this house. When when my cousin Jamal went and gave him a hug. He was little at the time. It's a Easter. It's an old Easter photo of Brian. You know, this is she was another. We're getting on. This is just a picture of another family that came from photo specialists. See old photos here. This is my grandmother. Uh, sitting next to I think it had to be my uncle Reginald. Had to be my uncle Reginald. I ain't sure. This taking place in this house. I think. So it's clutching onto that Budweiser. Stuff you don't even see every day. This is before everybody. This is before my cousins had went out there by the old garage, by the garage door. Oh God! It's right before my cousins went on by the garage door. Here's some people, all family members I miss. These are people. They used to come here. They used to come here. To this here birthday party. I think it was in the early '90s. I think. This is right on top of all four of us hanging outside this house. Hanging outside this house. This was taken like night two. I think it was before the riots took place in Los Angeles, California. You remember that? You remember this shit? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Language. I'm sorry. All this other stuff. See other things that don't even work for not just a reason of what I said. I gotta be careful what I say. You know what I mean? Don't don't try to strike me, YouTube. I know. I left the label like kid friendly. I'm sorry. We'll focus. I'll digress. Digress. There was at some party. There was a photo that take place at some party. This was taken like January of '84. Dated back 38 years. I feel it was taken. This was taken at this was taken at the wedding of my uncle Louis Calloway Show Senior and my aunt Stephanie Renee Parker used to be his wife. There's a group picture. Everybody else in it. Everybody else in it. My grandmother was already in the picture. My uncle's already behind. See, my uncle's behind my aunt. So this picture was all provided by the old K&B store. Don't know what happened to that place. That place was freaking gone. This photo was taken. It's I think it was my cousin Joyce. I think probably my cousin Joyce or Nooney. I don't know. My cousin Tominica. She was skinny at the time. She was younger. All the stuff was sit. All this stuff was sitting right there on that table. It was what what the heck? What the heck was there? What's in there? There was a pot right there with the gumbo in it. I don't know. It was for the crabs or crawfish. There's a 2 liter bottle of Pepsi. There's Milwaukee Best. that was sitting there, and there's a cup there. Everybody was already at the party. It was like, oh, it wasn't Nunez's choice. I forgot. Shirley was in there. I think Marion. I think Marion was already in the picture. I forgot it was Marion. There's Marion that was in the picture. There's Joyce there. There's there's Marion and Joyce there. I think there was Shirley was already in the picture. Shirley was in the picture. This photo, the photo. This is a photo of my uncle Avis Martin Jr., my aunt Cheryl, and a few people. This was taken like late 1984. It was taken like 1984, like late 1984. This photo, I don't even know what this photo. These people are. I don't know. Dude might be kidding me. I don't even know who these people are. I don't know. Probably my aunt. Probably met him. There's Joyce again. Early 1990s. If it was 92. Look at this. Here's Joyce. Here's Joyce from that same picture. From that picture, that was the party. This was taken in the early 1990s here. There's Brian at it was at a I think it was Brian. That was this photo of Brian at the prom. Uh, there's a photo of all the decorations that was in this house. Don't know what happened to those decorations. It used to be still. These things not even. Some of these things are not even shown. It used to be shown. This other picture. This other picture was already taking place. Like it was out. It was out. Same. It was out in '82. Same. But it's prior to photos of my dad and me, my uncle and them on the corner, being on the corner. There's photos of there's photos of my cousin Matthew's Shaw. There's photos of him when he was younger. My cousin Avis Martin, Avis Martin III. There's photos of him. I don't even know. It's classics. It's classics that you have to look at. So memories that you have to look at. It's my cousin Matthew's. When he was all grown up. He was like what, 13, 14, 15, 16 maybe. It's old photos of him. That was in the 90s, I think. There's other photos. There's have to be a school picture of him. I'll previous photos of him. There's photos of my cousins Louis Shaw Jr., Louis Calloway Shaw Jr., and Tamara Shaw. There's photo of Brian Shaw included. There's Tamara and Brian outside his house. The T-shirts it says King's Daycare Center. King's Daycare Center. It's 10:38. I got to speed this up. I gotta take this time. This follows my cousin Matthews. This follows him like I don't think it was what 1980s. It was like 1980s maybe. There's him with the T-shirt he was wearing. Has nets or whatever you call it. The other T-shirt Matthews used to wear this shirt back in the day. It's like it says. This says Michael Jackson. He was wearing the shirt, it's the old Michael Jackson shirt. I think it's after Michael Jackson came out with his Soul album, Off the Wall. So I apologize for my profane language YouTube. I'm sorry. I know I put that label there. That was supposed to be for the kids, for the children. It's supposed to be kid friendly. I lay a kid friendly because I screwed up and said the bad thing, but I apologize. This is Matthews with things with aunt, my grandmother. I don't know. It's probably my grandmother now. I know this one was. There's old photos. Matthews, he leaned, he just leaned against what was that? 1980s Chevy Nova or 1970s Chevy Nova. There's photos of him. I think it was on the corner. I think it was like St. Claude Avenue or Elysian. I think it was like Elysian Fields. Yeah, passing vehicles that drove around. Somebody standing over there. That's a photo of Matthews here. You know, 1282. He was pulling out the Connect Four out of the box. There's photos of him by the car. There's one photo of him. So like same like that. Like it's different than the shirt that he wears in the picture. That previous picture. 1980s. There's photos of him outside that old house there. The house was already demolished. Yeah. All this pictures of that old house down the block. There's old photos of him outside that house. House around the corner. There's him outside one of the stores. Old histories. But still based on my aunt, man. There's photos at his birthday party. Old stuff. Old stuff, classic stuff. So he was a third next before that's when he was born. But he was all grown up. These got an old photo. This is an old class photo from the late '80s, and there's teachers there. A few of the other kids my uh my cousin Avis the third used to go to school with. I don't want you to know any of these kids back in those days. I was like five. I was like 5 years old. I was like 4 or 5 years old. Uh, I never even went to school yet. Cousin went to school around that age range. It was like 4 or 5 years old. Long before he turned 6. I haven't went to school yet. But this picture was taken. I was the old Marie Couvent Elementary School, which was just under the name uh, name Alexander Pierre Road Elementary / public school. Now I don't know what happened to that school. I don't know what happened to that school. That school's not even in business anymore. So it was a business. It was in business. It was in business back in the it was in business back in the '70s and '80s time period. But it's just an old photo. That's when he became a graduate. Yeah, Mildred Weber. The lady used to be a principal at that school. Don't know what happened. I don't know. I don't know what happened to her. I ain't got. I ain't got. I don't want to be the one to ask my cousin about what happened to his old principal from back in the '80s. I didn't want to ask him that because if I ask him that, he gets He'll get. I ask him now. He'll get all feisty. I don't want to ask him more questions about what happened with his old principal, or his old kindergarten teacher from back in the days. Uh, Mrs. Ornley, his old kindergarten teacher. I don't know. I don't want to get and tell him those details because he'll probably go get all mad. I'm gonna lay off. I'm gonna lay off with him and let him do what he had to do. It's probably Jamar or Avis third. I don't know, one of them. There's a full Jamar. I think he was a baby. There's Avis the third. Expose him. All the photos that all we got shown about the old days. It came from the old days, I think. It's old photos of him, classic photos of him when he was a baby. Especially, well, based on my aunt, it's all about her legacy. This old photos of my uncle Fabian. Back when he was younger, and this is what he was back in the 80s and 90s time periods. There's him with Matthews. There's him with somebody else. It's another picture of Matthews again. Another school picture. That's another school picture that's completely look just almost the size behind it. There's a full Uncle Fabian with somebody else. There's him with I think it's with Hassan. I think it's with Hassan when Hassan was born. Lord, Lord, give me strength. I miss my little cousin. It sucks badly that you ain't around and you never even hear anymore. Yes, because I could have been there for you 6 years ago. I couldn't. I couldn't get a chance to be there for you. Failed as a cousin that I was supposed to be there for you. I failed. Your daddy was supposed to be there for you, and he failed to be there for you. But I'm gonna do just that. That's enough of the photos. I put these, you put these photos, you put these photos of these other photos of my cousins and all that. Uh, with this, with this photo album back. I gotta find out what's happening with this photo album. Jeez, what's happening with this photo album here? This other photo album, you can tell from stories which we've already seen are also true about my aunt, you know. See my uncle, there's an uncle with everybody else, family, all the family members. There's photos of there's my uncle, my grandfather, cousin, you know, another person that was still alongside them. It's probably one of my uncle's relatives. I don't even know of. Davis Martin Jr. One of his one of his relatives, whoever it was, I'll be one of the relatives. This is his grandfather, Avis Martin Sr. Seen with Jamar. There's Avis Jr. There's photos of them. Old photos have been taken. My aunt is one of these photos. My aunt show us one of these photos. Well, there's my cousin Matthews is in these photos, and him and Avis and a few of the rest of them were in there. Him and Avis the third and all. But already in this pictures, there's a photo. It's all photos of where they had a stage there as for a concert. We play this. Alright, there's one of the family members. There's somebody else. Um, it was one of the family members. It stood behind Matthews. Old photo, a lot of photos that do happen, but it's not going to be a cakewalk like my Uncle Fabian. Oh, it was my Uncle Fabian, somebody else. But it's supposed to be about my aunt Cheryl. You know what I mean? This was take like what 8283. I'm not sure. Yep, July 82. Same date that that my father was taking me out on, around the corner with him. You know, my aunt Cheryl, my uncle Avis Jr. and in the picture. You know, they were happier times. They used to be together. I think this is with my cousin's grandmother Priscilla. Probably was in the picture. I don't even know who this other woman was. This white woman. I don't even know who it was in the picture. This is all in there. My Uncle Avis Jr., Jericho, and all that. Anybody remember? Anybody remember last year when when I had to come back um August 31st last year? Remember that? I was way in uptown. Then my cousin Cindy Alexander and her father, who's now a husband, her father slash husband, they in the truck. They both came to me, and I told them about what happened with I told them about what happened with Cheryl, and she told me she heard. She was afraid to give me a hug because the COVID-19 thing, because the COVID-19 pandemic. She couldn't even hug me. Cindy couldn't even hug me. So there's a that's my uncle Avis Jr. and two other people. The old and probably Jamar Avis the third. This is the it's a photo of them. It's a photo of both of them, all three of them all together. There's him talking to the white dude, standing by the white dude with the plate in his hand. Got his hand around the white dude. Uh, Avis Senior. This photo of him I did not know. It was by this white caddy, this white Cadillac right there. This old white Cadillac right there. Oh yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah, back to the old photo of me, my father. That's from July 82. This old photos that came from the same year. There's my uncle Fabian Shaw, my cousin Matthew Shaw, my uncle Avis Martin Jr. It's for my uncle Avis Martin Jr. With the girl. Very reminiscent, very uh, Gap Band Charlie Wilson like. You know what I mean? There's old photos of my uncle Avis Jr. and the little girl. There's two of them. And there's another one with the woman and the little girl that he's sitting right next to. So cars there, got the Chevrolet there, the Pontiac, the Cadillac that's in right used to park there in his neighborhoods. It's my uncle Avis Martin Jr. with the with a shirt that looked like a referee shirt. That's white stripe, white on black stripes. Looks like a shirt, almost like a referee shirt. It's him with I think it was one of his sisters. It's my uncle Davis Jr. and this. I feel I don't know, it was probably one of his sisters. I don't know. I don't know if it was one of his sisters or another relative of his that he knew. There's a it's Avis Senior and Avis Martin Senior and Priscilla Martin. I don't even know why, but everybody knows that my cousin Avis Martin the third's grandparents. That's his blood. He's one of the people that my uncle introduced me to last year. This was my aunt Chanel uh Soul, Hayes, Denise, and then there's Denise Craig, who was one of her best friends growing up back in the '90s era, back in the 1990s era. There's my cousin and some girl, cousin Matthews and some girl. Uh, they leaned against this 1970s Nova or whatever vehicle. Going straight to the old photos. I don't want to make this thing too heavy. It's for my cousin Davis Martin III from 87, 88, from 1987, 1988 time period. That was Marie Couvent, cap and gown, cap and suit, whatever. Family, man. This is full. All photos are there. This was this a baby shower that's this from the baby shower that's taking place. I think it was put together by my aunt Dorita, my grand Dorita, my aunt Dorita James and my late aunt Esther Shaw. They used to put together this baby shower in the late 1977. They used to put together this baby shower. They put it together. That was I think that was especially for they put this baby shower together. This my cousin Matthews outside the one of the houses. His house, the little pink house. I think that maybe my mother used to live in that house, but we used to live in that one bedroom house. cousin Avis Jr. is him. My cousin Avis Martin Jr. is him sitting down. I was my cousin Avis the third. Avis Martin the third. I think it was photos of him or whatever. I gotta find out. I don't know. I don't know. It's A1, A2. I don't know. I couldn't tell. Well, the relatives. This gonna cost me to have some sort of a foot fetish. Look at those feet, man. Look at this woman's feet, bro. I almost have some sort of foot fetish. But late 1977, I didn't even know who used to put together baby showers. Uh, but my my aunt Aretha James and my grandmother the late Esther Shaw. Uh, they used to put in late 1977. They used to put back late 1977. They used to put they used to put that baby shower. They used to put together a baby shower, especially for my aunt Cheryl. Uh, you know what I mean? But this is long before all the heat started dying out. Before the heat started pushing on through. This my uncle Avis Martin Jr. and Phil's in his pictures. His my his father and mother who had me Avis my cousin Avis Martin the third's grandparents. And it's old photos of them back in the days. It's back in the day pictures. So we didn't see none of those. I didn't get a chance to find out when. But now I knew when. This monkey bars there. Uh, my uncle was on one. My uncle was on one of them. So we got the stories out there. So about my aunt though, it's more about her. Newspapers holding newspapers holding on yours. See, back in the 90s, see the back of this house used to have windows and all that. My late step uncle Ronnie Claude Senior, he used to put together. Remember this thing? Man? Remember in the 90s, was late 1982. Late 1982, he used to put together some sort of a pigeon house. He used to put together his pigeon house, you know, in late 1982. So he wanted to show it to people, you know, about what he did with the pigeon house. But the back, he used to have a pigeon house, but no pigeons coming up on the roof no more. Now everything's see everything's already been rebuilt from the ground up. So, but other things that we don't see every day. I'm looking at the photo albums regarding my cousin Rodney Carr Jr. It was born in like what December 9th, 1982. There's old photos of my uncle Fabian Shaw, his ex-wife Charles Shaw, who's now Charles Hughes. Uh, my uncle Fabian Shaw, especially, it's old photos of him. It's a cutout there. It's a cutout of all of them. So the classic photos you already seen. I'm, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry, YouTube. I'm gonna have to talk y'all to death. Mad too. But it's a lot of photos have been taken at the prom when Brown was going to. Uncle George Hayes used to take her to the prom. So I was at the school. Old photos. That's photos of her in that little red prom dress that she got. The boy that she was holding hands with. There's my show. In the pictures, one pictures with my grandmother, Esther Shaw. I'm hoping God they'll stay, they'll keep in touch and up there in heaven. It's easy time for them to reunite. I think it was early '90s. I think I don't know what it was. You see, that's a photo of my aunt Chanel Shaw Hayes, my aunt Chanel Shaw Hayes, my uncle George Hayes, my cousin Jonique Hayes, I think, my cousin Brown Shaw. She was happy. She was happy. She was happy. You know, she was happy and giddy like always. This photo was taken like early '90s. It was 1982. The picture was taken. The picture was taken like what the early '90s. I don't know. It was late '80s maybe. It was 80, '89, whatever. I don't know. All the photos he had of Brian, it was all taken. It was some of the other photos you've already seen that were already taken place. The other pictures, that's like a early '90s photo. It's my aunt's show, lounging, lounging on one of them chair things. It's early '90s. It's the old pajama jam picture that take place in like what '95. Coleman Senior High Joe TC overnight skate party 3. That was taking place 27 years ago. 27 years ago, that's where it's been taking place. I was at the school, and my cousin Keon Alexander. She used to go to school. She used to go to school. There's old photos of Jamar, old photos of Beyond, and all this stuff. Old photo of my grandmother Esther before she passed away. I'm gonna just put these photo albums together. I'm gonna find. You know what? I got this True Living Flex bag. I'm be on the back. This white bag's all tore up. I'm gonna put in this other foot. I'm gonna put this bag away. Bag my aunt had these pictures in with all already tore up. I got this other flex bag. Use this. The other bags are supposed to be for the bricks. I'll fix them up. Don't you fret. Don't you fret. Don't don't you fret a little head, darlings. It's gonna take 2 hours. It's gonna take 2 hours. Take 2 hours. On to the next photo album because I can't I can't even eat and drink while I'm looking at these photos. The next video I'm gonna do the other video. See, right? I mean, even though my aunt was cooking and cleaning around in this house back in the 90s, they had this Mother's Day dance party. I feel it was like May of '94. The story, but there was a bachelorette party. But the 50th birthday party was already happening back in the days. I feel it was at that bottom line. My cousin Lewis Shaw Jr. I don't know if he was in the picture or not. I don't know if he was in the picture or not. I couldn't even tell. But it wasn't. It wasn't. That was two people that my cousins Avis and Avis Martin III and Jamal Martin had met. It was taking place in that room, I think. TVs where the TVs are already. That's where the TVs are already in there in that room, one of those rooms. Bed was already in it. See, the blinds were already there. See, it's Tominika. There's a lot of photos of her. There's a lot of photos of her with Lewis Jr. and Tamara. Well, Brian was trying to blend in with them. Jamal was like holding something. I feel it's a photo. I think it got photos of Joyce. I think Nooney. There's there's my aunt Stephanie Renee Parker, cousin Louis Calloway Shaw Jr. This is all came from uh this all came from the family reunion picnic from July of '94. That's where we're going. That's where they're going in. My aunt Cheryl was already attending it. My dad was at the picnic. He used to be at the picnic. You know, it was at Wisdom Park. But now Wisdom Park was they fixed to get ready to be redid or something. I don't know. They about to redo that place, Wisdom Park. I don't want to talk y'all people to death on this kid friendly G rated uh live show right here. I apologize for cursing. Sorry about that. Try to keep myself cool. There's more of everybody at the picnic. There's more people at the picnic. I think it was Nooney or one of them. Joyce might probably be there. Used to be there. There's a banquet dinner on top of it. It's my aunt Stephanie Renee Parker with her mom Irma. Don't know what happened to Irma. That can be my cousin Tominika's grandmother. right there. So yeah, it's got the rest of the banquet dinner here. But it's supposed to be well, but still based on my aunt show Martin Claude, but it's Michelle's party. Well, it's probably Noonie, I don't know. Probably Noonie. That was her 50th birthday party. I mean, my aunt Chanel was attending that that woman's party. That was back in the 90s. I don't know what happened to Noonie, man. Noonie's I wish she was here. My great grandmother Helen Nelson. This is before my great grandmother Helen Livers Nelson. This is before she died. My mother used to take me and my sister over to her house when my great grandmother used to fix the sandwiches. We used to chill. We used to chill in the house and watch uh the was it the WYS TV uh channel station. So it's channel 12. That was regular television. We used to watch the old Barney and Friends the education. It's an educational show, educational programming show. It usually be on WYS TV. It still does. It still does. They've been showing that year after year after year. Uh, my cousin David West, he was sitting with us. He was sitting with us watching. Well, we're all watching that show, that Barney and Friends show. See, we're going back to the old school. Well, this is right before. This before I made a mistake there. I so couldn't remember so much, man. I could have took so much, so much grief. I could have took so much grief. So much grief. You see, I'll go dang. This is bound before. This is before I was around. That's before I was. That's before my mom was gone. But this is months before my mother was giving birth to me in the hospital, Charlie Hospital. For 41 years ago, there's tragedy and surrounding my aunt to this day. Back in those days, my aunt, so she was hurt. She was hit with grief when she heard about what happened with Margaret. Uh, see, from October of 1981, Margaret Tick Stevenson was murdered on October 22nd, Thursday, October 22nd, 1981, 6:45 p.m. And she was Jeanette West and Rudolph Wilson's. She was she was related to Net, I think. Um, Jeanette West, who was an auntie of mine, who had later passed away in early January of '87, January 7th, 1987. We go right at there too. And Rudolph Wilson Jr. Rudolph Wilson was an uncle of mine. Okay, wish he was around. I don't know if he was dead or alive. I don't know. It's 2 hours. I got to do it. And she's like a sister to all the Stevenson kids. There's Marion, who have later who have died, who have passed away 3 years ago. Joyce was still around. Karen, I don't know what happened to Karen. Helen, I don't know what happened to Helen. Michelle, don't know. David, I don't know what happened to him. Annette and Sandra, Charlene, I don't know. Joyce is still alive, but she came, but she's like Margaret Wilson. She's like grandmother to Margaret Wilson, who was another family member of mine. Helen Nelson. Okay, it says grandmother of Margaret Wilson and Helen Nelson. Ouch. Lisa Leo Wilson, Henry Taylor, Larry Sidney, Joseph Reginald Nelson. Reginald Nelson, my uncle Reginald Nelson's still alive. I don't know what happened to Larry and I don't know what happened to Joseph Nelson, who was another uncle of mine. He's no longer around. He's no longer with us. Larry, don't know what happened to him. Sidney Nelson, don't know what happened to him. I don't know if he was living or dead. I don't know. I can't even tell. I can't even possibly had to tell what happened. But it's 2 hours. I gotta do it. And she was oh yeah, she was a devoted friend of Dermot Charles. It says Wilson also survived by a host of other relatives and friends of the family, also pastors, officers, and members of the Grand State Stephen Baptist Church, Israelite Baptist Church, went to Capitol Lodge, number 427 in King George, oh yes, chapter number 10, are invited to attend the funeral services at Majestic Mortuary. Yes, Majestic Mortuary Service Incorporated. 1833, died on Sunday, October 25th, 1981. This is after Margaret died. 1981. That's like 8 o'clock dismissal services, 8 p.m. At 11 a.m. That was on a Monday, 11 a.m. Reverend M.B. Fortner officiating entombment in Mount Olivet Cemetery, Majestic Mortuary Service Incorporated in charge. Park and Rip. That's been passed like 41 years ago. 41 years ago. That's been passed. We're looking at the tragedy here. You got the deaths of two people. Uh, my aunt, Jeanette West, and Esther Celestine. They've both been deceased since January 7th and December 12th of 1987. These three, I put their names on the in loving memory up list on the word processor thing. So on my old laptop, I had put three of their names in it. Don't know who, Delma Franklin. Did not know who this was. Delma Franklin. Oh God. Well, she's not even kin. She ain't kin to my. She's not even kin to my family. I don't know much. You know who that person was. Probably my aunts probably knew him. My aunts probably knew Thelma Franklin very well. So I think my aunts probably knew her. Thelma Franklin. My aunts probably knew her. She passed away right after the death of my aunt Esther Celestine. She died right after my aunt Esther Celestine, who was a homemaker, who used to be a homemaker at a Delron hospital. A homemaker. Yeah, she used to be a homemaker. Back in the day, my aunt Esther Celestine, she she was okay, and her health was okay until until her health starts deteriorating, and she had some sort of a short illness, and then she died from this. She died from that. I was a kid. I was almost hit with grief. I didn't get hit with any sort of grief at all. My aunt Cheryl, rest in peace. She used to be hit with all sorts of grief regarding these women. All the grief had surrounded her and ate her up very, very bad. So we're going into the stories. There's David and I think it was Joyce or Nooney. David West. So I don't know if she was sitting next to us, probably Joyce or Nooney. I don't know. But I'll go find out. Yeah. 80s, I think. Probably 80s, 90s. There's a photo that's been taking place at there's the photos. There's my grandmother and with everybody else at the party. That's her birthday party. Everybody was in attendance at my late grandmother's birthday party back in the 90s. There's her with all the That's her with all the money pinned right onto her shirt, man. See all that money pinned onto her shirt? She about to have a cold beverage while she have all the money pinned up to her shirt. But my aunt Cheryl, she don't know she wasn't with us anymore until this part. But still gotta wish her a happy birthday, man. With classic thinking. Everything goes around looking into the memories that we ever just would cherished and lived on. That will cherish and lived on forever. You look at all the memories that could be cherished and lived on forever. This my uncle there, right by this picture, this the Maze Frankie Belway picture. It's my uncle and a few of his friends. They have a thing that says this a black thing. It's a black thing. So, my mom I mean my mother was in this photo album. I don't know if she was in this photo album or whatnot. I didn't get a chance to take another couple photos of my mom. There's the work. There's This is where my grandmother, like that's where my grandmother used to work. It was Fairmont Hotel. The Fairmont Hotel is my grandmother used to work there. You know, my step uncle Ronnie Claude used to work there. She used to tell these fat jokes to my grandmother time at the time, all the way until the early 2000s. After my grandmother died, his health was deteriorating. Got diagnosed with I don't know, some sort of like I don't know, it's like cancer. Then later he passed away. My uncle Fabian, he was visiting my grandmother at work. old stuff coming from, this says crayfish boil. They don't know. See, my family members, man, my aunt or any of them, my grandmother, they don't even know how to spell crawfish boil. What it says, crayfish boil. I can't even correct that though, because my great grandmother Helen Livers Nelson, she looked right at my uncle George Hayes right in the eyes while she's holding the hot plate. A lot of people, a lot of these people were all attendants at the crawfish boil, the crawfish boil back in the days. That's full of my grandfather, and one of the relatives, my aunt Chanel, you know, sitting on the couch chilling. She looked like she was almost about she was like flabbergasted what she sees. My uncle Lewis Calloway Shaw, singer. Rest in peace, man. This was this is him when it's taken in like the early '90s. It's taken like this was taken like early '90s. Okay, early '90s. It's supposed to be my aunt's show, but it was all her birthday. It's her birthday, but I gotta do it for 2 hours. Back to my uncle's wedding from 38 years ago again. More people attending there. Yeah, somebody walking my grandmother down the aisle, down the not down the aisle. Somebody's walking my grandmother straight to the podium or whatever, or that was where the wedding took place. This is this my step uncle Ronnie Claude in the picture. Uh, his father Emil Claude, who had later passed away before him. One of those people that's still living was one of his daughters, who was uh who was my cousin Ronnie Claude Jr.'s sister, his older sister. Hmm. My Uncle Frank, I think. My Uncle Frank, whatever. I don't know who it was. It says stepfather. What is this? It says stepfather. What's it say stepfather? This picture was taken like what, 82? That photo was already been taken since like what, 82 or whatever. I think it was right on top of where this is right after my daddy took me and my mother home. This is old photos of my auntie with my periodically and this photos of Rian, you know. They could have put it right back to where it started. This old photo of my aunt. This is old photo of my aunt when that we all that I knew and respected. This is from the '80s here. This is a photo of her holding this what was called the it's some sort of like a certificate that's from Joseph S. Clark Senior High School. That I think it was from Owensboro School Board. This is my aunt with her cap and gown holding this was it, a diploma or something, or it was in some sort of a frame or whatever that came from the OPSB. Uh, that was taken in 1985, 1986. I don't know. Old photos More I can get out of it, well, it's more we can finish. It's more I can get ready to finish right here. I'm gonna finish this off. There's no more for me to show you here. My uncle Louis Shaw, rest in peace. My grandmother, Esther Shaw, rest in peace. There's an old photo of them. So more this more the picnic. My aunt was my show was attending. I remember this. 1992. I used to wear a pair, just like I used to wear a pair of felines. And it reminds me of the one that my step uncle used. My one that my step uncle Rodney Claude Senior used to wear. Me and him used to wear me and my step uncle Rodney Claude used to wear that same pair of feline shoes. We used to. I don't have no feline shoes. I don't think that the shoes weren't even those shoes weren't even here no more. So they ain't even here no more. Those remind me of the feline shoes that like the ones that Tupac Shakur used to wear and on the ghetto theme video. 93 I think. 93, 94 I think. This more of the family picnic than my aunt Chanel, my aunt Chanel, and everybody was attending. You know, Joyce, my cousin Joyce, and all them attending there. My aunt Stephanie, Renee Park was already there. Everybody's in attendance at the park, but still, all the way to like, all the way jumping into rest in peace to my aunt, Cheryl Martin Claude. We're gonna we'll go do this. We're gonna do this on we're going to dedicate you know dedicate this stream this last stream to her because I didn't get a chance to write this stuff down. I'm not gonna play any music on this live stream. I'm ready to get up out of here. Let's hear this is live with James Coleman, the kid friendly G-rated version. Uh, see we'll go to the next video. I'm going to end this stream. We're in the stream and we're gonna ride. We're gonna go on to the next video. While I'm watching while I'm watching JD rage out and curses behind off on the Call of Duty Modern Warfare remake. But still, happy birthday to my aunt Cheryl Martin Claude. She'll be gone. She may be gone, but she will not be forgotten.